This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. Hi, I'm Mark Alyn, and along with the insane Daryl Wayne, we're going to spend the next 2 hours talking about a wide variety of health topics that actually touch each and every one of us in one way, shape, or form. A little bit later in the show, we're going to be talking with Coach Derek. Coach Derek works with inner city kids, training them to coach younger kids. I think that's great, and we'll find out more about that. He's been doing it for 15 years. We're also going to be talking about personalities with Alyn Head and find out more about that as well. This hour, we're going to start with Eric Presser, who is a returning guest. And congratulations, Dr. Presser, because he now actually has the book he said he was going to have a year ago. It's now out. It's called An Empowering Guide to Lung Cancer. Dr. Presser, is lung cancer still an issue? I mean, isn't smoking down? We're not smoking as much, or causing our own lung cancer to happen?
Well, first of all, Mark, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's always awesome to talk to you. And even though smoking might be down across the board, we're still seeing a lot of effects from smoking, and it still doesn't get the attention that it deserves. And like we've spoken about in the past, this is because most people think that smokers essentially deserve whatever maladies they get because they're smokers. And what a lot of people are just starting to realize is that as many as 15% of lung cancer cases are in non-smokers, and that's amazing. And when I lecture and I throw that factoid out, you should see the look on many people's faces, because if I told you that you had a 15% chance of winning the lottery, you'd be playing every day, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. But at the same time, some of that can be hereditary. I believe in secondhand smoke. That can cause lung cancer. I think that there are some people who are just predisposed to that. Let's take a look at that 15% first. What causes it, or don't we know?
So you're absolutely correct. There is a tremendous hereditary explanation. We all know that we inherit our genes from our parents. And unfortunately, we all know those people who get breast cancer or colon cancer or even lung cancer at a very early age. And no one can argue that there's a genetic component. The problem is, and what I tell most of my patients, is that if you or I are prone to getting lung cancer, for example, we might get it when we're 120. Now, if you smoke, you rev up the process, okay? Mm-hmm. And that's the best way to describe it to somebody. The bottom line is when you smoke cigarettes, you're inhaling and putting into your body all of the toxic substances that weren't supposed to be there. It's that simple. So when you inhale cigarette smoke, you're actually starting the process of your body having to work harder to fight off all of the irritation that it is encountering. And of course, nicotine has a tremendous effect throughout the entire body, in the nervous system, with your blood vessels, and it's so addicting that your body wants more. It craves more. It thinks that it's giving it energy.
And at the same time, there are people who are saying that nicotine can be used to fight certain diseases, and are doing research on that.
Well, the research that's going on with that, to my understanding, is anything that is in proper quantity, okay? The body was not meant to inhale as much nicotine as in a cigarette every 2 to 3 minutes, but that's what happens, and that's what causes the chemical dependency. One of the beautiful things about my book is that if you open it up, you don't have to read it from start to finish. For example, step 5 is removing toxic substances from your life. And that...
Starting with smoke.
Starting with quitting smoking. We all know that 1 in 6 smokers will get lung cancer, okay? And we know that smokers live 14 years less than non-smokers. But the question I'm asked on a daily basis is, how do I quit? And so the first thing I tell everybody is, you have to want to quit. And as simple as that sounds, that's half the battle. Because if you don't want to do something, you might as well not even try in the first place.
What about epigenetics? I mean, you've heard about this. It's a study where you can fight your genetic predisposition. And I would think that one of those ways would be to exercise, eat properly, don't smoke, stay away from smokers, and if you're a millennial, don't vape.
It's funny you bring up vaping because I'm also asked that almost on a daily basis, because the truth is the jury is still out, okay? But the facts are that there are many more toxic substances in cigarettes. However, the problem with vaping is that a lot of people think that it's quote-unquote harmless. It's not. It has chemicals in there, and unfortunately what happens is when you breathe out the smoke, it's an aerosol. Now, the definition of an aerosol is suspension of particles. Now, if I sat here and told you about asbestos, that's one of the biggest particles that everyone knows about, and when you have those particles that reach deep into your lung, it causes inflammation, it causes a lot of problems that may manifest itself years down the road. So if I have a patient who says, well, I'm trying to quit by using an e-cigarette, I'll tell them it's not as harmless as you think it is, but I would prefer them to try to transition. The big thing with the e-cigarettes right now is that they have flavors. And a lot of the younger kids are saying, oh, well, it's not a cigarette. Well, the problem is that they are they contain chemicals that are just as harmful, and some of them, most of them, have nicotine in them.
And and some don't. We've talked to.
Correct.
There's a vape manufacturers association, and we've had Mark Burton on several times. He's a co-president of that, and it's, to me, I don't like it. I mean, first of all, being near somebody who's vaping and smelling tutti frutti or cherry is just disgusting. And then then I'm inhaling it as well.
Well, it's harmful. It's harmful. It's the equivalent of secondhand smoke, and then you're absolutely correct. Which is why there are laws that are being passed, especially here in the state of California, to protect people, because it is even though it might smell nice, okay, it's still very harmful because of what I just mentioned. You have a suspension of particles. You are prone to breathing them in. And you're absolutely 100% correct. You brought up secondhand smoke. I don't know if anyone out there has heard of third-hand smoke. Now, this is also an issue.
No, I have not heard of. Have you?
Yeah. So third-hand smoke. The best example I give when I give my talks is a lot of us have children, and they put them in daycare centers. And so, if the children go out to play and the people taking care of them smoke cigarettes, the smoke, the chemicals, the toxins, they get into the carpet, they get into the paint, they get into the person's hair that may be reading a story to your kids or actually picking up your children. And that is actually proven to increase the risks of the toxicities of smoking itself, just like secondhand smoke is. Now, obviously, there are not going to be large studies because it's a very small population, but it's a real thing.
Well, it's do you remember? I remember going to, get your hair cut, and they wash your hair, and the barber or somebody else in the shop or salon smoked. Your wet hair is like a smoke magnet, and I've always thought that nicotine is still getting into me.
Sure, absolutely. And look, I think we spoke about this last time, how crazy it is. I'm getting older now, but I still remember getting on an airplane and having the smoking section.
Oh, absolutely.
Those last 3 seats.
I was on a plane. It's funny you say that. I was on a plane 2 weeks ago, and they said no smoking anywhere, including vaping. They've added that line. I don't know why. I never pay attention to those things anymore, but, we had to. I did, and I picked that up. Our guest is Dr. Eric Presser. He's based in the Palm Springs area, and he has a new book out, An Empowering Guide to Lung Cancer. An Empowering Guide to Lung Cancer. It's available, I would imagine, everywhere fine books are sold, as well as Amazon, which is where I got mine. And you can download it and watch it, but read it on your iPod, iPad, or phone, Android, whatever you've got. And it's something that's worth looking at. Let me, as we get ready to take some time out, Dr. Presser, is lung cancer still a major disease, or have we conquered it because smoking is way down?
Oh, no, there are over 225,000 new cases of lung cancer diagnosed each year, and that causes approximately 160,000 deaths. 1 in 4 cancer deaths are caused from lung cancer, and that's more than colon, breast, and prostate cancer combined. You know, the average age of lung cancer is 70. And one of the reasons why I started writing my book was to increase awareness about lung cancer, because we're going to have you finish that statement in just a couple of moments. This is Late Night Health. Join us at facebook.com/Late Night Health Radio. For our Jewish friends, Happy New Year coming up. Lashana Tova to you and your family. Dr. Presser, the insane Daryl Wayne, and I return in just a couple of moments. Don't go away as Late Night Health continues.
Welcome to Guide to the Soul. This is Robert Clancy. Grief can be such a burden on your heart. It can be crippling to the point where you can't even seem to function. I've been there, and I know that pain. But I also know you're not alone in that sorrow. We're all going through something in this life. Just as the sun has to face dark days, so do we. But the sun also has to shine again. Letting go of grief is not about letting go of your loved one. It's about making room in your heart for the love that you hold for them. If you have great grief, then you must have a very big heart too. It's time to fill your heart with that love and share it with everyone.
For more inspiration from Robert Clancy, visit guidetothesoul.com or go to the Moments with Robert page on latenighthealth.com.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to utilize your private health insurance PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. That's 800-296-1252.